Hello there, congratulations on your new escrow.
I'm Millie Harris.
I'm Donna Castanon.
I'm Janet Lee. We are part of the transaction coordination team here at United Real Estate Los Angeles, and we are excited to support you through this process. A TC, or transaction coordinator's job, is to help make sure the deal moves smoothly and that all required paperwork is compliant and completed properly. We want to give you a brief overview of the next steps so there are no surprises. Step 1, opening escrow.
You will be receiving emails from your agent, us, and/or your escrow officer letting you know that escrow has opened on this transaction. Escrow can only be opened when there's a fully executed copy of the purchase contract and any and all counteroffers.
Who gets to select escrow?
The party who selects escrow is determined by paragraph 7C1 in your contract. Most of the time, your agent will select an escrow that they've used before and they trust will do a good job. Once escrow is open, wire instructions are sent to the buyers using encrypted emails and passwords, which the buyer will need to verify by calling their escrow officer. Wire fraud is increasingly common, so this is a crucial precaution to protect everyone.
After the buyer wires funds into the escrow bank account, the escrow office should send everyone an earnest money deposit receipt so we are all aware that the funds are in. Shortly after, escrow will send out an escrow opening package to both the buyer and the seller. The package will vary depending on which side of the deal you are on, but it usually contains the escrow instructions, preliminary title report, natural hazard disclosure report, and other tax and transfer forms required by law.
Whether you are a buyer or a seller, you will want to fill out your escrow package completely and as early as possible, as it may delay other steps in the process if it is incomplete. If you have any questions about any of the paperwork, it is best to call your escrow officer for further explanation. Or you can even set up an appointment to meet with your escrow officer face-to-face with your questions.
How does the buyer decide to hold title?
That's a great question. For your tax professional or legal attorney. Neither real estate agents nor escrow officers can advise you on the best way to hold title because it's very specific to your situation. You want a tax or legal professional to explain to you the different options and what is best for you.
Step 2, inspections and appraisals. Now it's time for all parties to do their due diligence. Usually by now, the seller should have already filled out their seller disclosures, which allow the seller to disclose any material facts that they know about the property.
Should the seller leave information off of their disclosures, such as issues that they know about the property?
No. Sellers that do not disclose everything can create legal liability for themselves. The more you disclose, the better.
Most purchase contracts will include contingencies for inspections and appraisals, but it can vary greatly depending on what is negotiated between the buyer and seller. Inspections are usually ordered by the buyer's agent, while the appraisals are usually ordered by the buyer's lender. Both of these require coordination with the seller, since the inspectors will need access to the property.
Most properties will have a general physical inspection done right away, and other inspections may be recommended, such as termite, retrofit, chimney, sewer, roof, mold, or any other inspections that either party feels necessary.
Step 3, removal of contingencies.
After the investigations of the property have been completed, the buyer has to determine whether contingencies will be removed or repairs will be negotiated. Removal of contingencies has very important consequences for all parties. The buyer can submit a request for repairs based on their findings in the inspection, and the seller can choose to respond.
There are a total of 7 possible contingencies in any given contract: loan, appraisal, physical inspection, HOA documents, reports and seller disclosures, title report, and the sale of the buyer's property. If you are obtaining a loan, it is crucial that you follow up with your lender before removal of loan contingency.
Once the contingencies are completely removed, both sides are now locked in, and the escrow moves to closing preparation. Neither party may cancel the transaction after this point without becoming subject to paying liquidated damages. Step 4, closing of escrow.
As we near closing, the final funds need to be wired into escrow. If there is a loan, the buyers will need to set up an appointment to sign loan docs in the escrow office. If it is an all-cash transaction, funds need to be wired in 3 days before closing date. The sellers should have already turned in their notarized grant deed to escrow.
During these final days, the seller and seller's agent should be arranging of the transfer of keys, utilities, services, and any other final details that need to be addressed. The buyer and buyer's agent should also do a final walkthrough of the property a few days before closing to make sure everything is still as expected.
Once the funds and grant deed are both received, escrow will send both to the title officer to complete the new deed. Usually, the next day after fully funding, the new grant deed is delivered by title to the county recorder's office, where it is officially recorded by the state of California. Once we receive word that the recording has been completed, the buyer is now the new official owner of the property.
After the escrow is closed, the escrow officer will send out closing packages to all parties, either digitally or physically, which should include copies of executed escrow documents, closing statements, checks, copies of invoices, etc.
Well, that was a quick overview of the process from opening to closing an escrow. Your agent and our team are here ready to assist. You can reach your agent directly or contact us at 888-558-8790 or support@urelosangeles.com. We're excited to work towards a smooth closing for you.
Bye!